Hey everybody, welcome to another video, and today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. So, what is imposter syndrome? It's basically a feeling of inadequacy. Something in your head is telling you you don't belong in these spaces. Something's telling you, I don't have what it takes to be here. I don't know how I'm here. And it's kind of wild. I struggle with this a lot. And you kind of have to ask yourself, like, why are you feeling this way? Because it's not like anyone's telling you you're not good enough or you suck or you're going to fail. It's this subconscious mind telling you for some reason you're not competent enough and you're not good enough to be where you are right now. And I think it's really easy to do this, especially as a young adult. If you think about your jobs, you know, working around people who may be older than you or more experienced, you might have this feeling of, am I supposed to be here? Like, am I supposed to be here? And, some things you just can't question. Sometimes God puts you in these places so that even if you don't feel ready, He knows that you're ready. But I think a lot of anxiety just stems from this feeling and this need to be perfect for some reason. And I'm not talking about, outside environments trying to, tell you you're going to fail or your parents putting pressure on you. I'm talking about you putting the pressure on yourself that I need to be perfect at this. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of goals and dreams that they don't pursue because of imposter syndrome. Because they just feel like this can't be me. Like why would this, why would this actually happen to me? I'm not good enough for this. It's the devil's way of trying to get in your head that you just suck and you're meant to be exactly where you are. You're not meant to excel in life, but that's just not true. And if you didn't belong in those rooms, God literally would not have placed you there. He wouldn't have even opened the doors. Like, come on. So, that's what I feel like is a big struggle. Being young is just feeling like you're not good enough, and it could also be a side effect of just you being so used to losing, or you being so used to being sad that you can't grasp the fact that you actually got your blessings. I know at one point, when I was sad, like really sad, like I'm talking like inside out too sad, I would be so skeptical when good things would happen to me. Like I would hold my breath because I would be like, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like I just feel like something's coming. And I feel like imposter syndrome is kind of like that. It's kind of like you can't believe that something good can happen to you. You can't believe that you're this gifted and you're put in these rooms for a reason, to show your gifts, to show your talent, to be an impact to somebody, because you feel like someone's gonna come out with a camera like Ashton Kutcher be like psych. Like no, like you belong. And people will look on social media and scroll through people's life and be like, oh, I wish this was me. Like, why can't this be you? What's stopping you from believing that you can't do this? And I think a big thing to realize is how you see yourself is not how God sees you. You might see yourself as just a basic person supposed to live a basic life, and you have all these lists of things you want to do in life, but you just don't chase them. Whereas God sees you as like so able, so capable of doing literally anything that you set your mind to. Let's talk about being called to these spaces by God. Because I think the feeling of imposter syndrome really requires us to think about, why do we not feel ready enough? Because I think we pray a lot about, I want this dream car, I want this dream job, I want this. And as soon as God gives it and He puts you in these places to meet new people and to network, you're for some reason questioning your place there. And typically, one thing I've learned is that, growth is uncomfortable, and If you feel uncomfortable, that probably means you're in the right spaces. So I think to an extent, imposter syndrome isn't necessarily a terrible thing, because that could just mean you're in a new space and you're in a new chapter of your life, and God is trying to mold you and to grow you and to make you into the person you're destined to be. I think that if you're too comfortable and you're a little too stagnant in a sense, where you feel like you know everything and you feel like you can do everything in your sleep, that's probably the time to elevate. And honestly, that's not to say, because you could be in a new space and a new job and still be confident and be like, you know what, I'm that girl or I'm that guy. Like, I got this, That's not the same thing. I just mean like you stop yourself from pursuing new things because you're afraid that you're not good enough. I think there's a certain level of confidence you should have when you're entering a new space. However, the whole worrisome of, oh, I'm not good enough and everything could just be a sign that you're growing and there's things for you to learn. So it's kind of just like a teeter totter, but I think it just takes a lot of prayer and discernment to figure out, God, did you put me here? Because you may not be ready, but not being ready and not feeling ready are two different things. So I think that that's something to really, take in mind when you're, getting a new job or whatever you're doing that's new, is to be able to discern whether God placed you here because you're here to learn and you're here to grow, versus you're trying to rush the process of God's blessings because you want to get this corporate job or you want to climb up the ladder. And that's why you're feeling so insecure. And that's why you're feeling like you don't belong. But yeah, I think imposter syndrome really stops some people from chasing the things that God has called them to do. God is a God of order. He may not tell you what step is next, but he'll tell you which step to take right at that moment without you knowing what's next. I think that imposter syndrome just gets in the way of a lot of people's blessings. And even with this podcast, like, I was way too scared to start this. I've had this on my mind for 3 years. And I literally thought I just wasn't good enough. I was like, no, like, I don't have the good camera quality and I don't have this and I don't have that like everyone else. And it's like, when God calls you to do something and when God calls you to these places and these spaces in your life, you just do it because he knows that you're qualified. And, it's really about just not questioning him, and more importantly, just not questioning yourself. Like, believe you're that person, you're qualified, you're good enough. We're so overqualified, actually, not underqualified, we're overqualified. That's why we're in these rooms with these people. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.